A boy grows up as a puma, not a metaphor, not a dream. He literally lives as a wild mountain cat, 4 paws, sharp claws, running free through the forest with his family. But one day, curiosity wins. He breaks the only rule he's ever been given. He walks into the human world, and he ends up at a secret school where every single student is a shapeshifter just like him. For the first time in his life, he belongs. But here's what nobody tells him. The powerful man running that school, the one who becomes his mentor, his father figure, the person he trusts most in the world, he's been behind a string of violent attacks the entire time, and Crog already told him exactly where his family was camping. Deep in a remote mountain range, a boy named Crog lives a life nobody else could understand. He's a shapeshifter. His natural form, the one that feels most like home, is a puma. Fast, silent, untouchable. His family lives off the grid by choice. Hidden. And they have one unbreakable rule: never go near humans, because in their world humans aren't neighbors. They're hunters. They destroy what they can't control. But Crog is getting older. And the older he gets, the harder that rule is to follow. What are humans actually like? Why are we hiding from them? One day, the question wins. Crog leaves his family and steps into the human world alone. A kind couple finds him almost immediately scared, shaking, lost. They take him home. They adopt him. Suddenly Crog has a warm house, siblings, a real life. For a while, it almost feels normal. Then one morning, Crog catches the news over breakfast. Mysterious animal attacks across the country. Different species behaving strangely. Accidents that make no sense. No one can explain it. Crog shifts in his seat. Something about this feels familiar. He pushes it down. His adoptive mom Anna is driving him to his new school, Clearwater High, and his sister Melody has decided to tag along for the ride. That's when he spots them. 2 black crows flying directly above the car. They don't drift away. Don't get distracted. Mile after mile, they just follow. What if they're like me? That night, the family stops at a roadside hotel. Crog can't sleep. A noise pulls him to the window, and what he sees makes his heart stop. A pack of wolves sprinting down the street and disappearing into a dark alley. At the exact same moment, every light in the building across the road cuts out. Crog steps back, hands shaking. Something is very wrong. Next morning, Clearwater High, Crog climbs out of the car and freezes. The 2 crows that followed them the entire journey are standing in the car park. As students, before the shock can settle, the principal Lisa appears, warm smile, sharp eyes. She welcomes Crog, then turns to Anna. How exactly did you find him? Anna explains. Years ago, as a social worker, she got a call about a child in danger. She found Crog tiny, terrified, and couldn't walk away. Later, when it was time for secondary school, a mysterious letter arrived inviting him to Clearwater High. She believed it was his chance to finally fit in. Lisa nods, then asks to speak to Crog alone. The moment they're out of earshot, everything changes. At this school, Lisa says quietly, everyone is a shapeshifter. Crog doesn't have to hide anymore. For the first time in his life, he's exactly where he belongs. But that feeling of safety, it's going to be tested hard. The halls of Clearwater High are unlike anything Crog has seen. Wolves, crows, cats, bison. Every student carrying a second life inside them. Crog barely gets through the door before he locks eyes with Jeffrey and his wolf pack. Instant tension. James steps in and breaks it up before it turns ugly. That evening, a squirrel climbs through Crog's dorm window. It's Holly, his assigned school guide. In animal form, in transformation class, the rules are simple and serious. Use your powers only in lessons, and never let a human see you change. When it's Crog's turn to demonstrate, he hesitates. A bison shapeshifter named Brandon loses control first, crashing into furniture and sending the class into chaos. Watching Brandon struggle makes Crog feel even less sure of himself. Then Lisa does something unexpected. She helps him remember. She guides him back to his earliest memories, running through the forest with his real family, the wind in his fur, the feeling of being completely free and alive. Something unlocks inside him. Crog transforms, and when he does, Lisa asks every student in the room to do the same. That's when Crog sees it. Most of them are wolves, and she tells him he could one day become the bridge between all of them. After his transformation, the school shifts around Crog. Students who ignored him now watch with respect. Some are afraid. Even a small boy who turns into a tiny horse keeps his distance. Odd, but not everyone is pleased. Jeffrey watches from the edges, jealous and calculating, because the school's most powerful backer, a wealthy man named Andrew, has noticed Crog. He watched the transformation. He watched Crog dominate combat class, outfighting a much larger opponent through sheer speed and instinct. And he's made his decision. He offers to become Crog's personal mentor. Crog accepts. To mark the moment, Andrew gives him a small leather pouch. Inside, Puma urine, the raw scent of his own animal nature. The moment Crog smells it, something primal snaps away. Andrew smiles. You have a bright future. Jeffrey sees the whole exchange. His jaw tightens. That night, he delivers his challenge. Beat my wolves in a duel. One night, and we leave you alone forever. Brandon begs Crog not to go. It's obviously a trap, but Holly finally promises she'll be there. And Crog has had enough of being pushed around. That night, the three of them slip out of the dorms. Crog smells the pouch, transforms, they walk into the dark. When they reach the meeting spot, Crog asks who he's fighting, then he sees it's not two wolves, it's Jeffrey and his entire pack. Every last one of them. Crog doesn't run, he fights faster, sharper than they expect. But the wolves pile on from every angle at once. There's too many. Holly makes a split-second decision. She shoves Brandon off a ledge, forcing him to transform midair and crash into the chaos below. The distraction is just enough. The wolves retreat. Jeffrey loses. The next morning, Andrew pulls Crog aside. No punishment. Just one quiet observation. A real puma shouldn't need help against 4 wolves. He explains, because Crog left his family too early. He never learned to hunt properly. His animal side is powerful, but unfinished. Let me teach you. Andrew takes Crog deep into the forest. He teaches him everything: how to track, how to wait, how to strike at exactly the right second. Crog catches a deer. They share the meal. And on the walk back, Andrew opens up about something personal. He once had a daughter. If she'd survived, she'd be Crog's age. Crog trusts this man completely, which makes what comes next hit even harder. Crog and a student named Lou overhear teachers talking in hushed tones. There's certain shapeshifters are behind the mysterious attacks. If humans find out the truth, the fragile peace between both worlds is over. Later, Crog tells Lou something he's been sitting on during his road trip to school. He saw wolves attacking humans in a nearby town. He suspected Jeffrey's pack. Then one night, howling outside his window, he follows. The wolves slip into a factory in town, scaring off a guard. Crog is about to confront them when Andrew suddenly appears. He orders the wolves into his car, drives them back, and asks Crog to stay behind, alone. And then Andrew finally tells the truth. He is the one behind the attacks. He has been all alone, Andrew explains. A hunter killed his wife and daughter in the forest years ago. He's carried that grief for decades. The school council tried diplomacy with humans for 50 years, protecting habitats, building bridges. Nothing worked. Things only got worse, so Andrew stopped asking. Crog feels the bottom fall out, completely betrayed. But Andrew isn't asking him to hurt anyone. Just destroy machines, disrupt the projects killing animal homes. Join me. Think about it. Crog says he'll think. He already knows his answer. The mission, a mine. Andrew splits the group. Crog scares animals away from the area. The wolves push the workers out. No one gets hurt. That's the plan. Then Crog moves through the trees, and his blood freezes. His adoptive parents are camping in the valley directly below. He calls Andrew. Andrew says they're far away. They're safe. Don't worry, but Crog can feel it. Something is wrong. The wolves panic the workers. Everyone flees. Then a man named Derek climbs into the abandoned truck and starts releasing a massive stack of logs. If they fall, they roll straight down the mountain. Straight toward Anna. Straight toward Melody. Crog screams. Brandon and Holly arrive. The crow student's shadow and wing appear overhead. The wolves bolt, terrified of being reported. Lou tries to reason with Derek. He shoves her. The crows attack. Derek transforms into a grizzly bear. Brandon fights him. Holly fights. Crog hurls Derek out of the truck in Puma form. Then Andrew calmly walks forward and removes the logs blocking the wheels himself. The truck rolls. The logs begin to fall. Crog stares at him. It was never safe. It was never the plan. He stops fighting. He runs. Logs thunder down the mountain. Anna screams for everyone to take cover, but Melody has her headphones in. She can't hear a word. By the time she turns around, it's already too late. She screams, and Crog launches himself forward in full Puma form and shoves her out of the way. Anna reaches her daughter, sobbing with relief. Melody is shaking. She says a puma saved her life. Her father tells her she must have imagined it. Crog is found unconscious in the forest. For one awful second, nobody moves. Then the big cat opens his eyes. His family survives. Andrew calls a helicopter, arriving like a hero, as if none of this was his doing. When his parents are safe, Crog finally explodes. He threatens to expose everything. To tell Lisa the truth, Andrew smiles and delivers the most devastating blow of all. He's already sent people to search for Crog's real family in the Yellowstone Mountains. He'll only share what they find if Crog stays silent. Lisa arrives. Andrew pins everything on Derek. Lisa isn't convinced, but sirens are closing in, and she leaves promising a full investigation. Back at school, Crog and his friends are welcomed as heroes. The story has spread everywhere. The cheers are real. The smiles are real. But Crog knows the truth behind all of it. Andrew is still free. His real family is still out there, and Andrew holds the map. And the war between two worlds? It hasn't ended. It's just getting started. That's the story. And honestly, can you blame Andrew? The man lost everything to a hunter's bullet. 50 years of trying to play by the rules, and nothing changed. Comment below, was he wrong? Or was he just the only one willing to actually do something? Subscribe to Fair and Recap, and I'll see you in the next one.